Fellas, we made it to the semifinals of the 2026 World Cup. It's almost over. Can you believe it? Now, listen, for the quarterfinals prediction video, I got 3 out of 4 right. So that's what, 75%? It's good, but not great. I always strive for perfection. And for the semifinals, we have 2 games. And I'm going to try to get both of them right. Hello. If you're new here, I'm Filippo, and welcome to Chappelle Football. So what I want to ask you to do right now is to hit the like button in this video. Just do it. It's a great way to support the channel for free, and to subscribe. And pay attention to this. I have watched 100 football or soccer games over the past 32 days. Yes, 100. I am literally the unemployment's final boss. Because for you to watch 100 games in like 30 days, you need to be a kid, a teenager, unemployed, or old and retired. All right? I'm not old, not that old. I'm also not that young. I guess I'm unemployed. And I want to give you guys something to think about here for a second. We don't get to watch many World Cups throughout our lives, right? Because they happen every 4 years. I've watched 7 so far, and hopefully I get to watch another 10 World Cups, okay? Hopefully I live long enough to watch at least another 10 World Cups. And I want to say this. As time goes on, the most memorable moments of the World Cup are always the knockout rounds, right? The semifinals, the final, who won it, who scored the last goal, and all of that. But the best part of every World Cup is the group stage. While it's happening, it's always the group stage. We have 3 to 4 games per day. The vibes, blowouts, upsets. Everybody has a little bit of hope, right? And delusion. So what I'm trying to say here is, as time goes on, I've learned more and more to appreciate, right? That's what I want to say. Appreciate the group stage, because it is the best part of the World Cup. It's true. Everyone's here. It's packed. That's where the party is at. All right, now let me know in the comment section down below your prediction for England versus Argentina and Spain versus France. Who will advance out of each semifinal and face each other in New York for the World Cup final? Don't forget to drop a like in this video. I'm not going to be asking during the prediction, so do that right now. Hit the like button, subscribe. It's a great way to support the channel as we continue to grow. Okay, so let's roll the intro and start with our World Cup semifinals predictions. Okay, the semifinals prediction, and boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about. And I know you're going to say, isn't this going to be quick? It's only 2 games. No. It'll take some time. I'm going to do a quick recap of how each team got here, and then I'll give you my predictions. And this is a tough one, right? Let me put here the bracket up. It's a tough one because now that we have the top 4 ranked teams, those are the only ones that are left. It's honestly 50-50. Now, mind you, I'm going to give you my reasoning to why I think each team will advance, which ones will advance, right? Which 2 of the 4 will advance to the final. But it's 50-50, guys. And some people are saying, no, France are the clear favorites. Like, yeah, they've been the top performers. They have the best players. But we'll talk about it because they've been struggling against Spain. And I think Spain can be a nightmare matchup for France. We'll talk about that in a second. And then you have England versus Argentina. There's bad blood between those 2 teams. They don't like each other. Okay, those 2 teams there don't like each other. That goes on and off the field. And that's something that we have in common, because I also don't like them. So we have that in common. England doesn't like Argentina. I don't like Argentina. Argentina doesn't like England. I don't like England that much. Actually, Argentina, I don't like at all. England, I like the country. I just have a hard time with their fans, the English fans on Twitter or X. A very hard time with them. And also, you can't eat beans for breakfast, right? Let's stop that. But in Argentina, I kid you not, something is off about this Argentina team. It almost feels like they might have sacrificed Maradona and the Pope to win 2 World Cups. And look at this. I actually went on X and I asked them, and I essentially asked, did they sacrifice Maradona and the Pope for trophies for the World Cup? And look at this. They said, did Argentina start winning international trophies after Maradona's death? Because someone was trying to fact check me, because maybe I was right. Who knows? I'm right a lot. I'm usually right. So they said, yes, Maradona died in November 25th of 2020. Argentina ended their 28-year drought with the 2021 Copa America weeks later. I wouldn't say weeks later. I would say months later, right? They won the 2022 World Cup and the 2024 Copa America. No major senior trophies from 1993 until Maradona's death. So Who knows what they did there? Um, I don't know, man. Because honestly, if you think about it, Argentina in this World Cup, they're basically looking like Atletico Madrid with Messi and Real Madrid's like Champions League pact with the devil agreement, whatever it is. But let's start talking about the bracket here, right? I've been yapping for a little bit too long. Let's go through the bracket. So France, Spain, England, and Argentina. Okay, they're still in the World Cup. That's the semifinals right there. On one side, France and Spain, the other, England and Argentina. To me, the two best players of the World Cup so far have been Kylian Mbappe and Jude Bellingham, just to make that clear from the get go. After that, you can include Messi, Olise, Harry Kane. Lamine Yamal has been okay, not super impressive. Let's start with England versus Argentina. All right. So England to get here, they defeated Congo 2-1. That was a tough game that they had a very late comeback. They really struggled against Congo, DR Congo. And then they had to play a very big game against Mexico in the Estadio Azteca. That was a huge win for England. 3-2 win, hostile environment, fireworks at night so they couldn't sleep, altitude. And they played down a man for a good chunk of that second half. They still managed to pull this win against Mexico. That was a very tough game for England. They advance and they play Norway in a game that had a few controversies, mainly the ball hitting the cable of the camera, right? I don't blame England though. Like when it comes to the game against Norway, it was a game that was very even, right? Could have gone either way. And I think ultimately talent bailed out England. That's what I think. And I know the English players got mad at Thomas Tuchel saying, Tuchel said it, that England got lucky against Norway. I kind of agree with Tuchel. I didn't think England played a great game. Neither did Norway. It was a tough game for both because of the weather and just two very good teams. And ultimately, Jude Bellingham just pulled it off for England and they advanced. Kane wasn't great. Erling Haaland wasn't great. Odegaard wasn't great for Norway. Declan Rice was okay. Ultimately, it was Jude Bellingham that got him through. And obviously, Norway scored an accidental goal. That goes an accident. I don't care what you say. So England advanced, right? Beating DR Congo, Mexico, and Norway. I actually thought they did okay overall. These were not easy games. Congo, they probably should have done better. But Mexico and Norway, England did what England was supposed to do. Okay, those are tough matchups. And then you have Argentina. They are pretty much the first nation in World Cup history to make it to the semifinals without beating a single team that's like top 14 or 13 ranked. Seriously, first time ever. And then Argentina started the knockout rounds by barely defeating Cape Verde, right? They defeated Cape Verde on extra time. That was a very tough game. And there was a moment where I even thought that Cape Verde could have pulled a win. And then after that, Argentina went on to face Egypt in a very, very controversial game. It was an extremely controversial game against Egypt. I'm not going to dive into it. It's just that it's what I've said before, and I said this on Instagram, said it on YouTube. Every time there's a controversial VAR decision or something that could be debated or this and that, it's always in favor of the most popular team. And that doesn't only apply to Argentina, right? We saw that with Portugal and Croatia and a few other games as well. But very often when there's a controversial VAR decision, it always favors the more popular team. And Egypt is out of the World Cup. Argentina advanced. Okay. So, whatever our opinion on that is, it is what it is. Argentina knocked out Egypt. After that, Argentina played Switzerland. And I'm going to say it against Cape Verde or Cabo Verde, Argentina didn't look good. Against Egypt, Argentina didn't look good. And against Switzerland, Argentina got a goal in the first half. It was McAllister off a header. And then in the second half, Switzerland was actually dominating the game. They were completely outplaying Argentina. They tied the game. I can't remember who scored now. And mind you, Switzerland didn't have their best forward, right? He was injured. And again, 3 minutes after Switzerland scored, there was a red card for Embolo. That was also controversial. And the reason it was controversial was mainly because of how the VAR was used, because it was a flop and Embolo should get a yellow card for it. My issue with that VAR is that if the Argentine player did not get a yellow, right, for a foul that wasn't a foul, they would have never reviewed it and Embolo would not have gotten a red card. My problem is there were flops left and right from the Argentine players. And that is not reviewed because the Swiss player doesn't get a yellow. That's not reviewed. So I'm not against Ebola getting a red card. It's just that you have to be consistent with it. So this mistaken identity rule that FIFA added to this World Cup, one, you shouldn't be adding new rules in a World Cup. You test it in smaller tournaments first. But FIFA will do, stupid people will do stupid things. Like my grandfather once gave me an advice, right? And this is what my grandfather said. Before you do something, ask yourself, and you guys should take this advice as well. Before you do something, ask yourself, would a stupid person do this? If the answer is no, don't do it. And when I thought about applying new rules to the biggest sporting event in the world, the World Cup, I would say, would a stupid person do this? Do this? The answer to that is yes. A stupid person would do that. So you shouldn't do it, but FIFA did it. Okay. Anyhow, Ebola got a red card. From there, the game went to extra time. Julian Alvarez scored a beautiful goal, and then Lautaro Martinez got the third goal for Argentina, and they advanced to the semifinals to play England. England has faced tougher opponents than Argentina. Okay. And England managed to pull it through. I personally think that England has looked better than Argentina, right? While facing better opponents, England has looked fine. Thomas Tuchel is a knockout coach. You can say all you want about Argentina. They have the most goals per game in out of all teams in the semifinals, right? Out of all teams. Argentina had the easiest group out of all teams. And I'm not trying to downplay the fact that they made it here. Argentina beat the teams that were in front of them. I just think that Argentina is still way too reliant on Messi. Way too reliant on Messi, right? Like, think about this for a second. Messi has how many goals right now in the World Cup? Let me double check so I don't say something stupid. Messi has 8 goals in the World Cup. They're extremely reliant on Messi. And when you go towards that, Messi has 8 goals and Argentina has scored, let's just make it clear here. Argentina has scored 9 plus what? Plus 12, 14, 17. So pretty much half the goals were Messi scoring. And then Messi also has a few assists. So over half the goals go through Messi. Argentina is very reliant on Messi and set pieces. And their defense has been a lot shakier than I would expect, right? They conceded 2 goals to Cabo Verde, 2 goals to Egypt, honestly, 3. They conceded 3 to Egypt. One was disallowed as it shouldn't have been. They conceded 1 to Switzerland and probably would have conceded more if Switzerland didn't get a red card. So the defense has been quite shaky. I don't know how much they can match up with Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham right there. And also, don't forget, England has a lot of talent on the flanks out wide. England's a team that when you look at out wide, whether it's Anthony Gordon, right? Tremendous player on one side, Madueke, if it's Rashford coming off the bench, Saka coming off the bench, they have great options out wide. And then in central positions, you have players like Harry Kane and Bellingham, and then Declan Rice can connect the pass. Argentina has not looked good. They haven't looked good throughout the World Cup. Now, if you want to go the route of like they just have the I guess the luck of a champion, you can go that route. But as an analyst, I cannot pick Argentina to defeat England for this game. Mind you, both of these teams have had shaky defenses, but England pulled through against much tougher environments and much tougher teams. England found a way to completely neutralize Holland. They neutralized Holland. Okay. And as long as England can neutralize Messi, and you're going to say it's tough to neutralize Messi, of course it's tough. But one thing I noticed against Switzerland, Messi was gassed. He was gassed. He wasted a 1v1 at the goalkeeper that normally he doesn't. He looked beat up at the end of the game. And remember, Messi is older. He's older than in the previous World Cup. And the space between these two games, it's like 3 days. It's 3 days. So I just can't, as an analyst, pick Argentina here. I think England will knock out Argentina. And you guys are going to say, well, what about the VAR? It's going to help Argentina. I don't think that's going to happen, guys. Look, I hope the ref will be fair, the VAR will be fair. Under those circumstances, I'm going to pick England to knock out Argentina. So my first pick is England. Okay. I didn't put the simulator here because it doesn't matter. It's only 2 games. You guys can remember my picks. So I think England will defeat Argentina. All right. The current champions will get knocked out. And then Argentina will go play the bronze final or the third place match which is in Miami, by the way. Messi's home. He's gonna go play third place game to say bye to his fans. The last game of Lionel Messi in the World Cup, right there in Miami, July 18th, and England will head to New York for the final, July 19th. The same England that made it to the Euro final, right? Now let's talk about the other two teams, France and Spain. And this one is very tricky. And I'm going to say one thing. Obviously, anything can happen in the final, but I do firmly believe that the champion of the 2026 World Cup will come out of this game. Spain versus France. And the first thing I want to say is this. I saw a lot of disrespect towards Spain this World Cup. And I want to show you guys one thing before people keep saying France is going to win. There's no way that Spain will beat France. This French team is the greatest team in World Cup history, which honestly, you have a point. This French team is freaking good. Maybe the best I've seen in World Cup history, right? They're incredible. But again, this is also a Spanish team that hasn't lost a game since 2024, and it was a friendly. They are in a 36 game um, unbeaten streak. So do not disrespect Spain. Do not disrespect Spain. 36 games without losing. Euro champions, right? They made it to the Nations League final also, where they lost to Portugal on penalty shootouts. They knocked out France. The last two games that Spain played against France, they beat them. Okay. I can put here on screen the last game. It was a bit of an insane game. It ended 5-4, but again, Spain had that game always under control. It was what, like 4-1 at some point for Spain. They got 3-0, but this was the last time they played. It was June 5th of 2025, so roughly 1 year ago. And Spain defeated France 5-4. But guys, I don't remember exactly how the score went, but I remember it was like 3-0 Spain. It might have been like 4-0 Spain and then 4-1, and then Spain just got very sloppy. And if you go back to the Euros also, which is 2 years ago, so that's a little bit further. Spain also defeated France. They defeated France in the semifinals. And I understand that everyone's going to say, yeah, but France has looked so much better this World Cup. Yeah, but guys, each game is different, and I think Spain is just a bad matchup for France. Think about it. Think about it this way for a second. The Club World Cup last year, PSG versus Chelsea. PSG had looked way better than Chelsea for over a year, but then in the final, who won? Chelsea. Okay, it's a different game, and I think this is probably when we look towards the World Cup matchups and teams. I think the only team that has a realistic shot in beating France is Spain. I think if France beats Spain, they're not going to lose to England or Argentina in the final. In my case, I predict England to be in the final, which, again, that should have been the final of 2018, right? France versus England, but England lost to Croatia. Now let's recap France's campaign. So France, in the group stage, they won every game. Then they played Sweden, right? They played Sweden in the round of 32. They beat Sweden 3-0 with ease. The second game, which was the round of 16, they played Paraguay, and that was a tough game, right? That was a very tough game for France, mainly because Paraguay just played Libertadores ball that game. They weren't playing proper football, proper soccer. They were actually they were punching, kicking France. They didn't want to play, but France pulled through, found a way to win. Now, the France versus Morocco game to me was the most impressive one because Morocco is a tough team to beat, guys. This is not a team that goes down easy. And France beat Morocco 2-0. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, Morocco never stood a chance throughout the game. I was shocked. I thought Morocco was going to put up a legit fight, and they did fight. They tried. But if you rewatch that game, they never stood a chance. They never stood a chance. France was too good for Morocco, and then they make it here to the semifinals as the best team of the tournament. Now, if you get Spain in the group stage, a lot of people were crapping on Spain because they tied Cabo Verde in the first game. Again, they rested a few players. And people keep saying Spain hasn't looked good in the World Cup. I disagree. I think Spain has looked great in the World Cup. They're just boring. That's the problem. The problem is Spain is boring. So people are like, oh, they're not great. But no, they've held the highest percentage out of all teams. They've conceded the least amount of goals per game. Spain has been good. They have 5 clean sheets. They have been very good in the World Cup. Okay. Do not let the fact that they're boring to watch sometimes cloud your judgment. So after tying Cabo Verde 0-0, they defeated Saudi Arabia, Uruguay, came into the knockout rounds. They defeated Austria 3-0. Austria never stood a chance. They defeated Portugal 1-0, a very talented Portuguese side, and retired Cristiano Ronaldo from World Cups. And it was just 1-0 with a late goal. But Spain was the better team. They were the better team. The other matchup was against Belgium, and people were saying, no, Belgium made it very close. And sure, Belgium pulled a goal with Charles de Ketelaere or whatever the hell his name is with a header, but Spain was under control of that game the entire time. Spain had complete control of the Belgium game. And if you disagree with me, go rewatch it or check the stats. Spain had a 2xG while Belgium had zero point 0.3. And people are going to say, how can you use expected goals to determine that? Watch the game. I watched the game, dipshit. I watched the game. Spain was under control the entire time. They had like 68% ball possession, a 2.0 xG. They had 17 shots. 17. Belgium had 5. Spain had 8 on target. Spain missed 2 big chances. Belgium pretty much only scored the goal. The problem with Spain is sometimes they do struggle to score. They don't really have a true center forward, so that can be a problem at times. But this is a very good team, guys. Good defense, controls possession very well. They're probably gonna control possession against France very well in this game. Lamine Yamal on the flank, Nico Williams coming off the bench. This is a very, very good team. Okay. I'm gonna check here one thing. Actually, Nico Williams, yeah, he will come off the bench very likely. Pedri came off the bench. Then he almost an incredible player. Again, to me, Spain has been very good in the World Cup. Do not underestimate them. Now, again, to your question, which is who's gonna win, France or Spain? Guys, everyone's going to pick France. That's the truth. Everyone's going to pick France. I think this is a nightmare matchup. This is the first team that'll actually go toe to toe with France in the World Cup. Spain has beaten them the last 2 times they faced each other. Lamine Yamal is not even having a great World Cup, in my opinion, and Spain is still playing well. Again, a lot of you are going to say they're not playing well. They're playing well. Spain is playing well. Okay. I actually think Spain will pull it off. I firmly believe they have to be careful with those long balls in behind, right? Because you do have to face Dembele and Mbappe. But Spain knows how to play France, guys. They faced these guys in the last 2 years twice in competitive games, the Euro semifinals and the Nations League semifinals, and they beat France twice in regular time. Okay, didn't go to penalties, none of that. I think this is just a bad matchup. This is a team that can be ball dominant against them. They can just be ball dominant against France, and they're dangerous. And so I'm expecting goals in this game. I'm not expecting low scoring. If I were to predict a result, I would say something like 2-1 Spain, or maybe the game goes to extra time, 2-2, and then Spain pulls it off. But I think when push comes to shove, the Spanish national team will make it to the final, which, if I am right and we get Spain versus England, that is a rematch of the 2024 Euros. That is a rematch of that final. But that's my prediction, everyone. I think Spain will beat France and England will beat Argentina. So let me get this off screen here real quick. Yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. These are tough games to predict. I'm not going to lie. These are games that are 50-50. I think Spain and France, to me, some people are going to say France are the favorites. I disagree. I think that's 50-50. Now, England and Argentina, that one may be England. They're the slight favorites. I think England has been a bit better than Argentina throughout the World Cup. And they also have more players in Argentina that can win you a game. I think literally right now for Argentina, it's Messi. Julian Alvarez can pull something off. And then around these players, you have system guys that make the team work, right? That work for that specific way that Scaloni sets up Argentina. But again, down the flanks, I think they have more quality. England. Through central positions, also with Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham. So again, Messi also looked a little bit gassed. So my prediction is that England knocks out Argentina, Spain knocks out France. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Don't forget to drop a like right now. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Please drop a like. It's a great way to support the channel. And make sure to comment your predictions in the comment section down below. And that's all for today. And don't worry, we're going to do a final preview prediction video as well. Whoever's playing. All right. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time.